I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Terence Crawford versus Shawn Porter does 135,000 pay-per-view buys. This is according to Ring Magazine, and Ring Magazine is quoting Bob Arum in a recent interview that he gave. So you can see here from Ring Magazine, it says Crawford Porter garners 135,000 pay-per-view buys. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What's your reaction to Crawford versus Porter doing 135,000 pay-per-view buys? Impressed, disappointed, whatever? What's your thoughts?
Whatever. What do you expect? Like this is I don't know. It doesn't. All I'm saying is this: Terence Crawford, one hell of a fighter. Over here in the States, right? There's a lot going on. The holiday season is over. Everybody's trying to get back. Jobs and everything is scarce. Not only that, you have everything else going on. The NFL, you have the NBA, and there's other things going on. You can't sell the people crap and just think that they're gonna buy it. This is just that. I'm just sorry. You know what I'm saying? The views and opinions of Trey.
Nah, you keep it in a buck. Keep it a buck, yo. Nah, yo, your views are on point. I don't think you deserve this claim. I'm walking with you, bro. I'm walking.
That's a good fight. That was a good fight.
You know what I'm saying?
Pay-per-view worthy though. Real shit.
I mean,
you saw Shawn Porter versus Danny Garcia on regular TV when they both. I believe they both were. Well, Danny Garcia was undefeated at the time, I believe, and Shawn Porter only had 2 L's.
I got the answer for you. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Right?
Yeah, yesterday's numbers is looking like today's numbers.
And it goes back to what I was saying: is you can't sell the people, and they're just going to buy anything. Like when I said on the show, and certain people lost their mind in the comment section when I told them that Shawn was a shot fighter. And that I wanted, like Terence Crawford, like we done seen all the wars Shawn's been in and the type of way that Shawn fights. Right? So I said all that. And that's why I picked Terence Crawford to win that fight. After the fight, everybody says, even TC says, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was a shot fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's been in so many wars. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I said.
Bro, he retires.
Exactly.
His dad throws in the towel because he doesn't. So go ahead.
And everybody says it after. Everything that I said, everybody lost their mind over, right? You can't continue to fight these guys that people know that got eyes, that have seen these people that we know that you're going to win, and then continue. You want people to continue to buy this, and you're not giving them anything. You're not giving them no entertainment factor or anything with it. You're not promoting yourself. You're not. Terence Crawford, hilarious guy. Like you see him on behind the scenes, like hilarious. He don't show that to the public, so people can't rally behind. It just. People are not. You just can't. I'm just leaving it like that. You can't force people to buy when it's not nothing good. You should have, when Bob was trying to make that Spence fight. But we're gonna talk about that later. That's all I'm saying. I believe it, man, because you can't force people to buy, especially over here when we got other things going on. We just the holidays was, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot going on. And then you want to give people this fight that they didn't want.
I dig it. Conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean,
who want to kill Brooke?
Yeah, Trey, you brought up some great points. I'm not even gonna lie, because before the segment, I totally forgot it was during the holiday season, and then it just dawned on me. They did that on that ESPN app, which I thought was a miscalculation on Top Rank's behalf. So these numbers, although I feel like it's a shame, because to me, Shawn Porter, as much as I don't necessarily like his roughhouse style, he always makes fights entertaining. You know what I mean? And when you think about the current welterweight division, his name is always mentioned, you know? So I felt like this fight should garner way more pay-per-view buys, but it just was the wrong time to do it. And the way that they did it doesn't make sense, especially for older boxing fans who aren't really familiar with the app and everything. They probably wanted to watch the fight but couldn't, because they're going on Xfinity or Comcast or whatever they're on, and they're trying to find the fight. They couldn't find it. Like, even myself, I remember, I'm like, yo, where's this fight at? And then I think Katie told me, he's like, yo, it's on the ESPN app. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had to go over to ESPN, you know. But I felt like a fight like this with these type of names, that should have just been on regular pay-per-view, not necessarily ESPN Plus pay-per-view. That was a miscalculation on Top Rank's end. And so I don't want to admit this, but as shameful as those numbers are, it makes sense, man. But I don't feel like these numbers articulate these men's value in the welterweight division. So that's why I feel sad for both gentlemen, man. I kind of feel like this fight should at least go ahead, Kate.
You just said, G, and I quote, I don't think these numbers speak to these men's value in the welterweight division.
Mm-hmm.
You're also the same guy who says, when we talk about women's boxing, you're worth what you generate.
Mm-hmm.
So
however,
if these are their numbers, then this is what they're worth. Keep that same energy. Go ahead.
Keep the same energy. However, again, they're doing it during the holiday season. You know, that was a major miscalculation. And they did it on the app as opposed to just regular pay-per-view. Another miscalculation. So that's why I'm like, it's unfortunate that this fight only generated $135K. But I feel like,
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Can you tell me with absolute certainty that you know that these numbers would have been better if they didn't do the fight on the app?
Of course, yes.
You know this with absolute certainty. Based on what evidence?
Just based on, like, look at boxing, right? It's an old sport.
Okay, fine, forget that.
A lot of old people that.
How much better would this fight have done, since you know? You've done the research. How much better? How much better would this fight have
research on this? So I just found out about these numbers today. However, I think if it wasn't on the ESPN Plus app, I think this number would at least been.
You just said you think. A second ago, you told me with absolute certainty you know.
No, the question was, would the numbers be higher? I know the numbers would be higher. I don't know.
How do you know that?
You said because it was on the ESPN Plus app. A lot of people don't have the ESPN Plus app. You know what I mean? So again, you got to factor in.
Is the ESPN Plus app not free?
Yes, but you're talking about
if you don't have it, you can just get it.
What about baby boomers? What about Gen X's, right? Who are like, yo, listen, I like boxing, but they're not really too familiar with apps on phones, apps on TVs and stuff.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did Canelo Alvarez not do 800,000?
What you talking about? On you mean the Zone?
Yeah,
that's a subscription though.
But it is an app.
However, but it's not pay-per-view; it's a subscription. So these people already have it.
But Canelo versus Caleb Plant was on pay-per-view. and it did do 800,000 pay-per-view buys.
It was on pay-per-view. What are you
Yes,
talking about? It was on his own.
It was on pay-per-view. As a matter of fact, I can show it to you right now. So
let's say even if it was, that's on regular pay-per-view. Meaning,
it wasn't. It was on the app.
What app?
It was on the Fox app.
The Fox app? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I don't know.
I'm gonna show you right now. Hold on. I'm gonna show you right now. No, hold on. Oh, we're gonna stick with this. I'm gonna show you right now. Okay.
That had been regular television. Regular
pay-per-view. No, it wasn't. Yo, so here you see it, and it says Terence Crawford versus Shawn Porter garnered 135,000 pay-per-view buys on ESPN pay-per-view through the ESPN Plus app. Now, if you go down here, it showed Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant drew 800,000 pay-per-view buys on November 6th. So
I don't have the Fox app. You know what I mean? So I
watched it through the Zone for free, like I did, G, because you have a DAZN subscription.
I'm trying to remember. Was it on the Zone?
Yes.
Either which way, it's a poor comparison. One is
no, it's not a poor comparison, G. It's not.
It's not, bro.
It's not. G. Here's what it is. You are trying to act like you don't see the point. So let me break down the point to you in a very simple form. If you have a DAZN subscription, then you got to watch the fight for free. So I have a DAZN subscription, so I got to watch it for free. If I didn't have a DAZN subscription and I wanted to watch the fight, I had to pay for it through Fox app. So you're acting like Canelo Alvarez didn't just have a fight that you had to order through an app. But he did, and he sold 800,000 pay-per-view buys. So your baby boomer argument is doo-doo because the baby boomers somehow found a way to watch Canelo. And the people who needed to watch pay-per-view through an app somehow found a way to watch Canelo. And even people, and look, think about this. Canelo didn't just double him, didn't just triple him. He blew his numbers out of the water. And there were people who could watch his fight for free like us. And he still blew him out of the water. Just imagine, hold up. Let the chef work. Just imagine if we didn't get to see the fight for free because we have a DAZN subscription and we had to pay like everyone else. That fight would have easily done over 1 million buys. But then you got the TC spin artist who goes, Canelo isn't that big. He only did 800,000 pay-per-view buys because some people got to watch it for free because they have DAZN subscriptions. So my point to you again, G, is why is it Canelo can sell 800,000 pay-per-view buys for a fight that's being shown on the Fox app, but TC still can't sell more than 135? Right. With people who have to use the ESPN Plus app. How can you be so sure that it's the app that is responsible for those bad numbers when other people seem to do well selling their fights on an app?
Okay, so there's several variations that we have to consider. One, this was the Canelo undisputed fight. Two, we've known for DAZN for like the past maybe 5 years have been on active campaigns to promote DAZN the app. You know what I mean? And their number one thing at the time was these
numbers don't reflect DAZN, G. This is where you mess up. These numbers are not about DAZN.
Walk with me.
These numbers about the Fox app. These numbers come from the Fox app.
The ESPN app. These numbers are I'm comparing the Canelo fight to the Crawford fight.
But you keep talking about DAZN, but those numbers are coming from the Fox app.
Hold on. If you really believe 800,000 buys are only from the Fox app, you're fooling yourself, bro. I guarantee that 800K is factoring in our DAZN subscriptions. I guarantee that. You know what I mean? Like
we didn't pay for it on DAZN.
No, we do through our subscriptions.
We have a subscription. This is talking about regular pay-per-view buys for one fight, G.
When let's say an upcoming album comes out, right? Like, how do they know it's a platinum album when everyone's doing subscriptions now? Because they're doing there's a point system. Some people may
streams. They do it by streams. How many times a song album stream?
Exactly. So some people may still purchase albums, right? They'll pay the $16.99 to purchase the album, but other people will just do the streams, and then they factor in the stream numbers to go into if that album is platinum or not. They're probably doing
not for pay-per-view buys, bro. Pay-per-view buys are actually who purchased the fight. Like
for sure.
it is. It's a subscription. So when Anthony Joshua fights, for example, and he's on the zone, when we watch it for free in America, we're not being counted in his pay-per-view buys. They're counting the people who pay for it over in the UK, who pay that $25, $30. That's who they're counting.
The argument now because I didn't pull it up. I didn't look it up. So I'll give you that right now. But I'm gonna do my research and I'll follow.
Go ahead, and then you're gonna say, D, you're right. That's all. That's
it. I have no problems being wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see how they're gonna do that when the music industry is doing like what Ness said, streaming.
We're talking about music industry, and the music industry is talking about streams. They're not talking about buys. People don't even buy albums anymore, so they're not talking about it. They what the music industry, it's all about streams now. You get plaques for streams now. You get 10,000 streams. You get a 10,000 stream plaque. You get whatever. They talk about how Drake has like 200 some odd million streams now. That's how they're doing it now. Based on the streams.
You don't think the zone is factoring in?
No, bro, because it says pay-per-view buys. It's in the title, dog. You can't say pay-per-view buys and count a stream. It's not a pay-per-view buy. If they were saying 800,000 people stream this fight, for example, when they talk about the numbers for Danny Garcia versus Shawn Porter, they talk about how millions of people stream that fight. The word says stream. There's a difference between stream and buy. It's evident, bro. You know that.
Are you talking about illegal streaming, though?
No. What are you talking about? No one's talking about illegal streaming. I'm talking about when a fight is on regular television.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A regular television.
They say how many people viewed the fight. They say how many people streamed the fight. You understand what I'm saying? But when they say how many people bought the fight, that's how many people put their cards in. That's how many people ordered the fight through the app. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When they say 800,000 pay-per-view buys, they're not talking about streams, bro.
Listen, I don't know.
I guarantee you the number of people that watch that fight exceeds like 2, 3, 4 million. What are you talking about?
Yeah, listen, I don't know. You could be right. You could be right. I'm not too sure. But again, there's several different factors that go into play. That Canelo fight was a much bigger fight than Crawford versus Shawn Porter, who was a former champion. You know what I mean? So it's like, even with that, it's not really a good comparison. Obviously, Canelo versus Plant was going to be way higher in pay-per-view buys than this fight. I just don't believe that if this was on regular pay-per-view, that it will only sell 135K. The number will have to be higher because more people are familiar.
But that's what you believe. You don't actually know. Because Canelo sold 800,000 using an app. And that's the point that I'm making to you. It doesn't matter if you think Canelo was a bigger fight. The point is, if the people wanted to see it, the people would find a way. What happened?
It was not an app.
Not a Showtime app.
Thank you. Even the Showtime app's not an app.
No. It says it because it says according to Boxing Scene, the Canelo vs. Plant pay-per-view absolutely crushed it when an estimated 800,000 buys in the domestic U.S. This includes purchases made through traditional services like cable, satellite, and digital buys through the Showtime app.
See, cable, satellite, where most households have access to. It was on regular pay-per-view. If I turn on my TV and say, hey, I want to watch Canelo versus Plant, I could just plug in Canelo versus Plant pay-per-view. It's going to pop up on my screen. When I try to watch the Crawford versus Porter, I couldn't find it. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, yo, I can't find this fight. And he was like, bro, it's on the ESPN Plus. I'm like, ESPN Plus. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. A lot of people don't have ESPN Plus. That's the only thing I was saying. So
so hold up. So you were looking for the fight because you wanted to watch it.
And
then you found out how to watch it, right? And you watched it.
Yes.
Again, people want to see the fight. They find a way to watch it. So the 800,000 people who watched Canelo found a way through numerous services. He just said it: satellite, cable, and app.
Yep.
Whatever way they could watch it, they found a way to watch it because they wanted to watch it.
But Crawford was only on the ESPN Plus app.
Here's my point to you, and we can just end it like this. His numbers are what they are because people didn't want to watch his fight. And Canelo's numbers are what they are because people wanted to watch his fight. And when people want to watch a fight, they find a way. I know this because when people want to watch fights, they call me, yo, you ordering a fight? Yo, you got this? Whatever. No one's ever called me and say, hey, man, you watching that Crawford fight? I'm trying to come over. Never heard it one time. Okay, and that's the point I'm trying to make. You're making it seem like, oh, the only reason these numbers are bad is because the app. No, the reason why these numbers are bad is because no one's checking for Crawford. That's why the numbers are bad. Because if Canelo was fighting on ESPN Plus, people would have found a way to watch that fight.
Again, I didn't say that was the only reason. You only locked in on that one reason that I used, but it's cool. Again, Canelo had several options for people to view the fight. The Crawford fight, there was only one option. ESPN Plus app. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. So I feel like if there was more options for the Crawford Porter fight, then there would be more pay-per-view buys. It's just logic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not really logic because you're not really showing me how that was going to generate more interest in Terence Crawford.
Yo, listen, I don't know the amount. The amount is now.
Your argument is extremely flawed because you haven't shown me that Terence Crawford has this massive fan base that was looking to order his fights.
Never said massive.
Go ahead, Trill.
Look at past.
Let Trill. Looks like Trill found something.
No. Now I'm just saying too, like that. Even with the numbers don't look bad for Crawford numbers as far as pay-per-view. Looking it up right here, they was like Crawford's numbers on pay-per-view have been between 50,000
and 125,000.
And that's through home box office pay-per-view alone.
I was going to get there too. He fought Amir Khan on pay-per-view, and you could order it through satellite, and he only did 125,000 pay-per-view buys. Prior to that, against Victor Posto, he only did 50,000 pay-per-view buys. So this fight with him on ESPN app, he actually increased by 10,000 buys. There's nothing you said has proven that there's a base that didn't have access to TC's fight because it was.
He actually did better. He actually did better.
Nothing you said has proven that there were people.
He did better.
That there were people who would
die. Hold on. Can I get in on this?
All right, go ahead, Ned.
Yo, G, you bugging right now, man. I just share the link from the same site that said he got 135K pay-per-view buys. The same link says a different article says he totaled 340,000 pay-per-view buys over three fights. Earl Spence versus Shawn Porter got 350K pay-per-view buys. He fought Shawn Porter and got less than half that. Shawn Porter fought Mikey Garcia. Got 725. But I'm just saying, bro. Earl Spence fought Mikey Garcia. Got 725K pay-per-view buys, bro. It's not that hard to get people to buy your fight. Are you making it seem like the ESPN is
400,000
pay-per-view to now ESPN Plus pay-per-view? Again, a lot of people don't have the ESPN Plus.
How many baby boomers? Hold up. Yo, G, this is a ridiculous argument. For starters, how many people on Instagram? How many people follow TC? I guarantee you TC has more followers than he does to have people who purchase his fight. And if they can follow him on IG, then they know how to use a damn app. They just chose not to buy his fight. You want to sit here and act like there's millions of baby boomers. There's millions of baby boomers sitting in their seat like, oh man, I want to watch that TC fight, but I just don't know how. My dad doesn't know how to use this stuff. And when my dad needs something done with his computer, he will call me. So if my dad wanted to watch this fight so bad, he would have said, hey, Caden, can you come over here and put the fight on for me? It's not that hard.
So you honestly believe in your heart of hearts that the fact that the pay-per-view was on ESPN Plus did not deter anyone from purchasing that fight?
No.
You believe that?
No.
All right, we good.
Hold
on. Not if he did his most. Not if he did the best he has ever done.
Yo, I swear to God.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying before, you cannot sell the people crap. This was right before Thanksgiving. We're going into Christmas. You cannot.
And I agree with you on that. That was another variable that prevented these numbers.
Yo, why am I supposed to give him that benefit of the doubt when he chose to fight on that date?
Hey, listen, man.
He chose to fight on that date, G. So why am I supposed to?
I'm not saying that was smart. I clearly said that was a misstep.
Yo, bro, here's the thing what you're doing, though. You're overlooking the numbers and trying to excuse them. The numbers are what they are.
They are what they are.
They are what they are.
I know that. I don't understand. Y'all not listening to me?
No, you're not listening to
all
yourself.
I did was give reasons why the numbers are so low.
Nah, I'm not buying it.
Reasons why? Because you don't have proof that that's why those numbers are low.
3 pay-per-view fights,
all
bro.
you did was speculate. All you did was speculate.
And they all were trash. It's 3 pay-per-views. He's had 3 underwhelming pay-per-view fights.
Okay, the
3
first
underwhelming pay-per-view fights, bro.
The first pay-per-view, 50,000. The second pay-per-view, 125,000. The third pay-per-view, 135,000. It seems like a trend to me. It seems like he's in the ballpark to me. You want to sit here and act like, oh, it was because in December. Oh, it was because the app. But there are other people who use that app, that same app, like Tyson Fury when he fights Deontay Wilder. Although Deontay Wilder's on PBC and you could order from the Fox app. But what I'm saying to you is if there was only one app, everyone would find a way to watch that fight. You can't tell me
that Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder was on regular pay-per-view. That's the difference.
It was also on these apps.
Of course, but on regular television, I typed in Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and it popped up.
So your argument is, G, that the baby boomers, the baby boomers who don't know how to use an app, again, you're assuming they don't know how to use an app. You don't actually have proof that they don't know how to use an app. You're assuming that there's a large population of people who don't know what ESPN Plus is that wouldn't have been able to figure out how to watch the.
All right. Using your logic, you're pretty much implying that Crawford is not a star. So then, why would ESPN?
I'm not implying the numbers. I'm just going off the numbers.
That's cool. Well, let's go off the numbers. Then why would PBC, Fox, PBC, Showtime, Top Rank, ESPN? Why would they even want to make Crawford versus Spence? You're saying
it hasn't been made.
All right, but
time out. You just asked me a question, so let me answer it. Last time that I checked on some Nipsey Hussle-ish, Tim Smith from PBC said there was no money in a Terence Crawford fight. Last time that I checked, Bob Arum said he could have built the house in Beverly Hills on the money he's lost on Terence Crawford. Last time that I checked, Terence Crawford has been a free agent for all this time and still hasn't signed a Matchroom, still hasn't signed with anyone. Last time that I checked, doesn't seem real starish to me. Canelo, when he was a free agent, everyone was throwing their panties at him. Last time that I checked.
All right, and you know how, and not even I just want to. I think we went on a lot. Everybody made some great points. You know, I think G was playing devil's advocate, right? A little bit.
I wasn't playing no devil's advocate.
G was playing. That's what.
This is insane, yo.
If it wasn't during the holiday season and if it wasn't on the ESPN app, the numbers would have increased.
But you see his other fights wasn't during the holiday season.
His other fights, come on, he's fighting no name.
And that's what I was saying. This is what I was saying with Shawn. He was fighting no names. You can't force the people to buy crap. And like with Shawn, we seen Shawn's a sharp fighter. You can't force the people to buy crap. That's why when Kate is not lying, when these guys are saying that they were losing money, they're losing money. It's just simple math, right? Like simple math. Well, 130,000, right? And how much was the fight? 69 something. Let's just say $70. Okay, 70 times 130. 9 million and 100,000.
All right.
They didn't even break.
They had to pay TC.
And they had to pay 10 million for the fighters. So they didn't even get that bread back. If 6 went to Crawford and 4 went to Shawn, that's 10 million. They didn't even get, and they only made 9 million and 100. They ain't even come. It's simple mathematics, baby. I'm just a hustler. And I'm just saying they losing money.
Yeah.
That just shows you that
that's not up for debate. They've been losing money. Here's the thing that gets me.
Hold on, is the numbers right?
It was like 9 million, 9 million.
The numbers right now.
Yeah, the number's right. This is insane, bro.
Here's what I'm saying to you, and this is all I'm saying. You can't act like you know that the date. You can speculate. I'll give you it as speculation, but you're saying like you know with absolute certainty. I put money on it. Canelo Alvarez would do numbers in December. I put money on it. I put money on it. Anthony Joshua. I put money on it. Anthony Joshua will do numbers in December. Well, gee, you can't have it both ways. You're trying to tell me that TC's a superstar and then make excuses for it.
Listen, you're putting a lot of stuff in my mouth. Pause.
Oh wait, hold on, wait. Have I said anything y'all didn't hear G say? Let me know. Fine, okay.
Again, I simply said, yo, the holiday season, that was just a poor decision on Top Rank. And I said putting it only on the ESPN Plus app was a poor decision again on Top Rank. That's what I said. You took it to
I question for you, G. Realistically, what other platform was ESPN supposed to put it on?
Regular pay-per-view, like everyone else does.
ESPN doesn't have a regular pay-per-view, dog. You do realize that. Hold up.
Like when they did the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, I think it was 1 or 2. I can't remember.
No, bro. Again, see. Let me help you out. When Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder is on Showtime. Showtime has the platform to give you pay-per-view. Okay, so does Showtime. Fox, the same main company.
Yep. And it was
okay. Hold up, but they have the capabilities to do that. Yes. ESPN is a free basic cable channel that does not have the pay-per-view capabilities that you're talking about. So that's why they have their app.
Hold on. Again, I think it was part 1 or part 2 or part 3. I can't remember which one was ESPN's turn, the Top Rank's turn, and it was on regular pay-per-view, bro. I didn't have to download an ESPN app.
Watch that pay-per-view fight. Bro. That's what I'm telling you. You can keep these excuses, right? Because that's exactly what they are. At the end of the day, I know this. There are however many people follow TC, and I think he got over like 1 million followers. All them people know how to use apps. All those people know how to follow him. They were able to type his name in. They were able to click that follow button. That's all you got to do to order pay-per-view on ESPN as well. They chose not to do it.
It's cool.
Okay, that's all I know. In comparison to Canelo Alvarez, who somehow seems to generate revenue, who somehow seems to be good business, who somehow seems to turn a profit for everyone involved. Like Anthony Joshua, who somehow seems to turn a profit for everyone involved. Even Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder didn't meet their expectations in terms of the numbers that people thought they were going to hit, but they still generated 800,000, whatever. Earl Spence Jr., somehow the guy who everyone keeps wanting to see fight keeps doing 200,000, around 200,000, sometimes 300,000. Hell, Tank's doing numbers. But when it comes to TC, we want to come up with all these excuses. And I'm sick of it, man. Sometimes you just got to call a spade a spade. He is who we thought he was. He is what he generates, and that is it.
Right.
Listen, I can concede to that point. Crawford needs to do a better job at becoming more of a household name.
At 34 years old, I don't see how.
I was just simply making the argument that 135 just seems too low, even for a Crawford versus a Shawn Porter. That's the only thing I was saying. You know, now this is where I go into speculation. When you ask me, well, then how much would it have done if it was on regular pay-per-view? Then I'll be, trying to make a little guesstimation, whatever. I'm just saying that with these two names, especially with Shawn Porter against Terence Crawford, these numbers, man, just seem too disappointing for me, man. That's all I was saying. But it is
disappointed because you want Crawford to do something he's not. You want to see Crawford do something he's never done. Yo, I just like, for me, it is not disappointing me. I have no expectation. These numbers could have said 500,000. I would have been like, yo, that's what's up. The people are interested in Crawford. It seems to me Crawford got the comment section on Smash. He got the thumb thuggers on Smash. He got everyone on Smash. But this goes to what Tim Smith was saying. There's no money in them. Because when they got the opportunity to prove that they support Terence Crawford, the boy can't break 150,000 pay-per-view buys.
Amen. Listen, TC, you be all right, man. Hold your head up, man. Don't listen to us, man.
I'm still waiting for TC to get signed. That's
Let us know.
No, that never went.
I gave my.
Hey, bro, everyone had a
It was all interconnected just now.
It was chaos. This was chaos.
You know what I'm saying?
Gee, man.
This was good. It was a good debate. This is what the Boxing Bros is all about. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. And once again, all the people that's on following Terence Crawford, go buy his fights. We are the Boxing Bros.
Buy his fights. If you don't buy TC fights, don't
come in the comment section.
Don't come.
Matter of fact, buy his fights. Next fight he has, buy his fight. Say #Boxing Bros, and we'll follow.
Show the receipts.
Show the receipts.
I refuse to get verbally abused by someone who don't even support the fighter.
I can't support this, man.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.